If you're trying to do photography full-time and actually want to make a reasonable living, and you're not shooting weddings, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I really don't. Wedding photography is, in my opinion, the absolute highest pressure, most stressful, exhausting photography job that you can possibly get on a regular basis. The competition is fierce too, and wedding photography overall, it's really just tough. It's a tough gig, 360 degrees. But today, I'm still going to build my perfect Nikon Z mount kit for shooting weddings. Admittedly, this gear set is going to be absolutely gigantic, and it doesn't have to be for you, but it must be for my style of shooting. Let me explain. It's my preference to have the best tool for the job if I can help it. And if you have a good plan, you'll have time to use the best tool for many of the tasks that a wedding photographer has at a wedding. More on that later. Obviously, lighting is a given. I'm taking my flashes, but I'm not doing a wedding tutorial, and this is already going to be a gear-filled video, and no one thinks lighting is sexy anyway, so let's talk cameras. Personally, I'm taking the Nikon Z9 as my primary and the Nikon Z8 as my secondary. Why these two? Well, weddings call for lots of portraits, so personally, I'm going to want that integrated grip of the Nikon Z9 as my primary camera. The Z9 has the best image quality of any camera I've ever owned to date, and thankfully, the Nikon Z8 is the exact same in performance. Same sensor, the images look the exact same, making the editing of thousands of images much faster. It's also smaller and lighter, which is appreciated when I'm going to be on the job for 7 hours for Protestants and 4 days for Catholic weddings. It really is that simple. So now, let's move on to lenses. But first, did you know that you can get some awesome perks by becoming a member of the Z8 Photo YouTube channel? Awesome perks like content recommendations, early access to all videos, unique member-only videos, and uncut or uncensored videos. Not everything on YouTube is able to be monetized, and if it can't be monetized, YouTube don't like it. But as a member, you'll get access to everything that YouTube deems unworthy of its algorithm. So fight the man by becoming a member of the Z8 Photo YouTube channel today. This is going to get nutty, so I have to break this into 2 lens categories, primes and zooms, because we have a total of 6 lenses that I'm taking, but don't worry because we're not using these lenses all day. Some of them have like one job, but that one job requires the best tool for that job, and since I'm charging thousands of dollars for this, the customer is going to get the best tool for the job. For weddings, I'm taking the Nikon Z MC105 f2.8s, the Nikon Z85mm f1.2s, and the Nikon Z50mm f1.2s. I'm really only using the primes when I have more control of what is happening, or at least a reasonable amount of control. And generally before and after major events or in between those moments. Behind the scenes kind of things. Specifically, I'm using the 105 macro for rings, close-ups of the prettiest table decorations, and the cool abstract feeling close-ups of flowers and stuff, an artsy spin that I'm putting on their wedding album. Realistically, this lens can go away after I get that stuff taken care of. The Nikon Z85mm f1.2s is really just for portraits, both when the bride and groom are getting ready and kind of behind the scenes, and the planned portrait sessions that you usually see between the ceremony and reception with the family and such that breaks off into the more intimate sessions later on with just the bride and groom. The Nikon Z50mm f1.2s is mounted secondary anytime I'm rocking the 85 for quick variety, 85 shot, 50 shot, step back another 50 shot, etc. But aside from portrait use, these lenses work good for whole table decorations, streamers, banners, etc. I'm doing that outside of the action of the main events of the day. I'm going to be there early to get these kinds of shots before people get in my way. Now, let's check out the zoom lenses. For weddings, I'm taking the Holy Trinity, baby. The Nikon Z14-24 f2.8s, the Nikon Z24-70 f2.8s, and the Nikon Z70-200 f2.8s. The 14-24 is going to see less action today than pretty much every other lens because I'm only after like 4-ish guaranteed shots with it. The empty reception hall, the entire empty ceremony setup, the entire ceremony with everybody there, and the reception hall with everyone dancing and pretending to have a good time when we all know they'd rather be doing something else. For the ceremony, I'm running the Nikon Z 24-70 and 70-200 f2.8s lenses. I will continue to do so until it's time for the planned portraits. For the reception, the 24-70 f2.8 is never going to leave my primary camera. I'll switch out the 70-200 for one of the other primes for the special dances, and I'm pretty much leaving that until everyone gets on the dance floor. Then I'll swap that prime back out for the 14-24 to get everyone dancing, and then it goes right back in the bag in exchange for the prime again. The 24-70 never leaves because if the best man and maid of honor get wasted and start fighting, I'm going to quickly drop everything I'm doing and have the trusty mid-range zoom to make sure the family has visual proof to never let them live it down. So let's recap. At the making of this video, my Nikon Z9 as the primary, 5696 new, 4800 used. Nikon Z8 as my secondary camera, 3996 new, 3600 used. Nikon Z 50mm f1.2s, 2096 new, 1700 used. Nikon Z 85mm f1.2s, 2796 new, and 2300 used. Nikon Z MC 105 f2.8s, 1046 new, and 850 used. Nikon Z 14-24 f2.8s, 2496 new, 2059 used. Nikon Z 24-70 f2.8s, 2396 new, 1814 used. And the Nikon Z 70-200mm f2.8s, 2696 new, 2083 used, bringing our total to $23,218 new and $19,206 used, excellent condition. You can definitely shoot a wedding for cheaper. This is just my preference, but no matter what, that is why the cost of weddings is both expensive and kind of reasonable at the same time, and why I never want to do one again. In the comments, tell us what your wedding kit is. I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade, and Z-Wade Photo. Stay sharp, YouTube.